What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think, well, I lie awake and contemplate at night. Wearing me out.
Good evening. Oh man, I'll tell you. Yeah, that reminds me of a a fun time I had many, many, many moons ago. I think I've talked about it before. Me and a friend at the time decided to take some gel tabs and go play pool. And that was a hell of an interesting night, I'll tell you. Pool balls moving all around the table. I mean, how in the hell do you hit a cue ball when the damn thing's moving all around? So, yeah, that was interesting. I stared at the clock for a little while. It was a Newport clock for Newport cigarettes, and it kind of had like a little animated waterfall. And, yeah, about a half an hour, from my understanding, is what I stared at that. About the same amount of time as my buddy stared at the ceiling fan. So, it was an interesting night. I even remember leaving there. I looked at my buddy. I'm like, yeah, they know. It was a blast. It was a blast. Anyway, I mean, they had to know, and everybody was having fun with it. So it was a good time. It was a good time. Anyway, yeah, it just you know, I when I was younger, sorry, I got side thought. When I was younger, man, I'll tell you what, that's why I say that I'm glad that certain things weren't around me when I was younger. We didn't have heroin around here. At the time, I'm talking at the time. Yeah, meth was around here, but it wasn't real widespread. It had its circles pretty much, and that was it. So I was fortunate for that, because when I was younger, I was not the brightest, you know. I mean, I was an intelligent person, but I sure in the hell loved to get high, and you know, I was always eager to try new things. That was just kind of how I was. I didn't shy away from much. And, you know, fortunately, I wasn't around any of the really, really bad stuff, so. Let's see. Trying to think of, there was other stuff. I was going to, give the latest update on what's up with the bike trailer. I'm going to hold off on the cargo lights because I'm not real happy with my plans on attaching them and just the functionality, having to unvelcro the thing. So I'm going to think on that part a little bit. All I did was the power wire's still there running up to it. All I did was tuck it in the tube, and I'll deal with it later. So, but I did get it finished up. I got the output wire on the bike, and it's all good to go. It's tested. I'm just waiting. After the show, I'll go out there, and I'll get some video of it, and show you on a video what it looks like at night. And it's pretty sweet, I think. I think it turned out very nice. But anyway, trying to think. I'll probably have that video up, I'm sure, tomorrow. I don't know if I'll feel up to editing a video after I shoot that or not. Usually pretty game for getting in bed. But I've got everything else, all the other video content. It's already on the computer waiting, and I just got that one clip to shoot and then put it up. So, or put it together and then put it up. Anyway, can't think of anything else. Let's see. Sorry, I was getting lost on pages, and I thought I had something moved over. I guess I didn't. Okay, sorry about that. So, guess we'll get on to the news. I really don't have a whole lot to discuss. Just been working on the bike. I'm glad to be done with that. I sat there and this afternoon, and I'm like, it's been like days since I even had the flight stick plugged in, no less gone for a flight. So, actually about 5 p.m., I'm real quick throwing my flight stick and my rudder pedals up at the desk and went flying for a little bit. So tomorrow, that is going to be pretty much tomorrow morning, I should say, aside from getting that video taken care of. That's going to be my focus. I'm going to go flying. I miss it, so can't wait to do that. Aside from that, like I say, I've been spending a lot of time outside working on that damn thing, and I'm glad it's done. I just wanted it to look good. So, let's see. Have a sip of coffee. I'll switch the video over. I have no idea for sure what year that was. Early 80s, I think. Camaro. I want to say it was. Early 80s Camaro with T-tops. I think-ish. Having flashbacks, man. Anyway, I talked about this some yesterday in regards to over across the pond, if you recall, a teacher that thank you, Angel. I also mentioned that it was probably even worse here. And of course, I had no idea that this article was going to be waiting for me today. But it was, so we shall. A U.S. teacher subversively transitioning kids, says the Daily Mail. A group of teachers from the American Midwest, oh joy, admitted to flouting the law in a bid to help their students change their gender, the Daily Mail reported on Monday. Their efforts are reportedly funded by the administration of President Joe Biden, which recently moved to quash state-level bans on underage sex changes. Daily Mail reporters gained access to a recent online conference organized by the Midwest and Plains Equity Assistance Center, or MAP, attended by 30 teachers from 13 states, including Michigan, Missouri, Ohio, and Wisconsin. The conference was called to address a slew of Republican-authored bills enforcing single-sex bathrooms, restricting transgender participation in girls' sports, and requiring teachers to inform parents if their children identify as a different gender in school. Conservative parents have sued schools for keeping their children's transgender identities a secret, and have angrily demanded that sexually explicit books be removed from the classrooms. Let's see. During the meeting, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Coordinator Kimberly Martin explained that her Michigan school district is working with our record-keeping system so that certain screens can't be seen by the parents if there's a nickname in there we're trying to hide. Now, wait a minute. There should not be a single thing that is being withheld from the parents. At that point, oh, she's in the other room right now, Angel. She'll probably be in here shortly. But this is mind. I mean, this whole thing is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. At the point that kids are allowed to withhold things from their parents with their teachers and the administration, that is exactly the moment in time when you need to remove your child, no matter what it takes, no matter what you have to do. It is imperative that you remove your child from that environment. You can't even let that get started. Because mom and dad, you are the law. Period. It's unreal. I sat here and you know, I can't imagine this stuff if it were being pushed, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago. I can't imagine it getting anywhere. I really can't. I think 15 years ago, let's go a little further. Give me that, will you? 20 years ago? Will you give me 20? I think 20 years ago, I think there would have been a whole lot of Americans ready to kick some ass. And I mean ready to kick some ass. I don't think there would be any playing around. And I have to ask myself, how did we get here? How did we become so numb as a society together? How are we so numb? How are we so complacent? They are literally telling you that they are going to allow your child to withhold things from you. They are willing to go completely around you as a parent, to do whatever it takes to feed this insanity. I know a thing or two about psychology. I know a thing or two about puberty and the psychology around that time period. And I know that it's a well-known fact in psychology that many people might have a few questions regarding their sexuality and stuff like that. However, usually nothing ever comes from it. And that's just an old school psychological fact. So you have to understand what they are doing. It is very targeted. It is absolutely very targeted. What they are doing is trying to catch those kids in that moment and steer them in a direction. Now, most of us have enough common sense to know that this is just going to be a very disappointing situation. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what you call yourself. You are what you are. And that goes both ways. I'm telling you, that goes both ways. There are some people, I believe firmly, that are born male. but they absolutely have more female attributes about them. No doubt. Won't argue that. I won't argue that. Right? And it is what it is. But there is nothing in that says, though, that we should absolutely encourage it and try to get people to tip over. There's nothing in there. They are literally targeting the kids, and I know that's something that you knew. But you may not have known about that particular time period. And that it's very common for people to have a few questions. I'm not saying that it necessarily goes real far. Nothing. But it is pretty common. And it's just a part of the chemicals going crazy, because it is puberty. All the chemicals going crazy and all of that stuff. It just, can send people in weird directions. It's called puberty. Except that before we didn't feed into the insecurities, the thoughts, the questions. No, we dealt with them head on if they even came up. Most of the time, it wouldn't come up. But see, that's just it. It's not a matter of it just coming up. They're wanting to be open and receptive and push the idea that it's a good thing. I don't get it. And I don't dare really speak my candid thoughts, because I can't. I can't. We need to stand up in this nation. This shit needs to be shut down. If adults want to do, I don't care if adults want to dress up like a dog and have somebody walk them around. Whatever. Leave the frickin' kids out of it. Completely. Totally and completely out of it. That's the only complaint by 90% of the people that I hear standing up. That's the only complaint. The kids. Leave the kids alone. "20 years ago, this shit wouldn't have flew." I guarantee you, 20 years ago, this wouldn't have went. Now, I don't know what the hell's happened from then. Well, I mean, and Hexafoosh, you're correct. All the chemicals in the foods and stuff, absolutely. And a lot of that stuff is targeted as well. Anything from the food dyes to the quote-unquote natural flavorings. You know what's a natural flavoring in some foods, from what I understand? Bat shit. Yeah, I've heard it. I want to say potato chips. Barbecue, to be exact, if I'm not mistaken. But I have heard that bat shit is actually a quote-unquote natural flavoring. I'm hungry now. You think George Carlin was just singing a song. Rat shit, bat shit, dirty. I'm not going to do it. I do know the whole thing. I can sing the whole damn thing word for word. That is one song I will go to my grave knowing word for word. I guarantee it. George Carlin's Cheer. Ah. Beaver butt glands. Ah. So, I mean, but things are tough, right? Things are tough everywhere. Just look at what's going on in Britain right now. I mean, you think things are bad here. You think inflation and everything is bad here. Hell. Over in the UK, they can't even afford to have tall kids. I mean, the economic says it's right in front of your face. Economic cutbacks making British kids shorter, says a study. Hey, I'm telling you, I saw somebody did a video or I read an article or something, and they were talking about how now the BMI, the body mass index, is now somehow racist. So between the racism associated with the body mass index and the economic cutbacks causing British kids to be shorter, I don't know where the hell this world's going to go next. But we'll read it. It says British 5-year-olds who grew up in the era of austerity are shorter than their peers in other developed nations by as much as 7 centimeters. You know what it might be? It might be because you use metric and we use imperial, we use standard. So, you know. Oh, they've got that 2.76 inches. Hey, that's substantial. According to data from the Non-Communicable Disease Risk Factor Collaboration, boy, them folks must be bored if they're doing studies on this, published by the Times on Tuesday. Since 1985, when British boys and girls, oh, you mean there was only 2 genders? Oh, interesting. They ranked 69, in 85, there was only 2 genders. So, anyway, they both ranked 69 for average height at 5 years out from 200 listed countries. Their ranking has plummeted dramatically to 102 for boys and 96 for girls, putting them behind countries such as diverse as Canada, Kazakhstan, and Cuba. Comparing the numbers to data on 19-year-olds, Professor Tim Cole of University College London's Great Ormond Street of Institute of Child Health, damn, I love these titles, suggested to the Times that growing up in the 2010s period of austerity was what clobbered the height of the children in the UK. They couldn't afford them extra inches. I mean, hey, they went to the hospital. They said, yeah, can you cut me a deal? Can you give me like 5 more inches for the cost of 3? I mean, but they just couldn't do it. Anyway, it says... this is nuts. It goes on and says, because height is affected not just by quality and quantity of food, but also stress, poverty, illness, and even sleep quality. Cole argued it is a uniquely sensitive indicator of living conditions. It's quite clear we are falling behind relative to Europe, he said. In modern Britain, the way we eat is one of the clearest markers of inequality, former UK government food advisor Henry Dimbleby told the Times. Now, and let me explain this. So, like, during lockdowns, people just had to eat whatever the hell they had in their house because they couldn't go out, couldn't go to the store, they couldn't go anywhere. And they had to make sure that the roads were absolutely clear so that government officials could get to their places where they could have their wine and cheese parties. So, and you know, we have to sacrifice as a nation to make sure that our leaders can party. I wonder if they factored any of that kind of stuff in to any of, I doubt it. I doubt it. I wonder if they factored in, losses from all the money that people involved with the royal family have had to pay for legal representation. I'm just, asking. asking about a few thousand pedophiles. I mean, I don't get it when they come out with stories like this. Because it seems a little bit bizarre to me. But, hey, I'm not getting paid $1 million to come up with some crazy-ass study either, so. Well, here's a Sherlock Holmes moment. Counteroffensive not going well, says Zelensky. You think? I mean, because I thought you guys were just maybe taking a breath or something. That's a long damn breath you're taking. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has admitted that the long-promised counteroffensive against Russian forces has not delivered the results that some Western observers expected. Amid mounting losses, Zelensky insisted that he would not discuss peace with Moscow. Some people believe this is a Hollywood movie and expect results now. It's not, he told the BBC on Wednesday, admitting that advances by Ukrainian troops have been slower than desired. Whatever some might want, including attempts to pressure us, with all due respect, we will advance on the battlefield the way we deem best, he added. Ukraine's counteroffensive began on June 4 with a failed attack on Russian positions near Donetsk, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Wave after wave of attacks followed along the Donetsk and Zaporozhye sectors of the front line, all of which Russian forces have managed to withstand while destroying hundreds of Western-supplied tanks and armored vehicles and taking thousands of Ukrainian troops out of action, according to the ministry. And you know the story. We've been talking about it. I'm actually a bit shocked that he's actually saying this. I don't know. He's like bipolar, because one day he'll kind of hint at the truth, and then the next day he's kind of like, well, the U.S. people are pieces of shit because they need to give me F-16s, I mean, it's just insane. It's just insane. Pretty sure we already knew. And now the Pentagon, wow. Remember those books that were just kind of off by billions of dollars, and, we clearly had billions more we could give to Ukraine because they made an oopsie. Yeah, $1 billion of oopsies. It happens, right? With the Pentagon, it happens an awful damn lot, I'll tell you. Seemed like something like that happened, right before 9/11. I don't know, just saying. But this here says U.S. military has said it overestimated the value of arms transferred to Ukraine by more than $6 billion over the last 2 years, more than doubling the Pentagon's original assessment first disclosed earlier this year, and blah, blah, blah. We talked about it yesterday. So I just thought you would like to know that the U.S. government is taking it upon themselves to go ahead and give that money to Ukraine. Because it was already, it was supposed to go. So we're just going to let it go. So, easy come, easy go. Right? It's easy for you, right? You can go get billions of dollars, right? I mean, you can just say, hey, my neighbor is a real prick. And I need a HIMARS and maybe some other types of artillery. Maybe some razor wire. I don't know. An F-16. Why? Because screw the neighbor. That's why. I mean, this is insane. Again, 20 years ago, I don't know that they would have gotten away with the shit. They had to cover up so much of the bullshit they were pulling over 9/11 with the whole weapons of mass. I remember this stuff. I remember, even before that, I even remember the bogus chemical weapons attacks, right, during the 90s. The bogus chemical weapons attacks during the 90s. I remember all that crap. I knew it was crap then. But we wouldn't have put up with this. I don't think because this is just so in our faces. They hid everything back then. They don't now. They just put it right out there for all to see. That's everything from this type of stuff to scandals that the administration and, I don't know, maybe their kids are involved in. Anywho, moving on. I only got a couple of more tabs open. It's probably going to be an easy, quick night, but that's good because then I can get out there and get that done. Woohoo, because it's just now getting dark enough I can shoot. Yeah, it's wild, you know. And then I think about all the other stuff going on, you know, the societal stuff going on, and it's just like, how do you not see a relation from this and Sodom and Gomorrah? I mean, how could you not? Even if you wanted to think about the times of Rome, how can you not see that? I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Times of Hitler as well. I mean, you can see a whole lot of that going on right now. It's weird because it's not like just one cycle. It's like a shit ton of cycles all converging at one time. And this is true in a society manner, in a social manner, I guess I should say, in an economic, a financial manner. It's happening with the sun, the moon, and the stars, you know what I mean? So it's all these cycles coming to converge. It's pretty interesting stuff. And my menstrual cycle, we can't forget about my menstrual cycle. Because I can have one, you know. Don't say I can't. I'll go tell somebody. Jen's thinking, nah, it's not a menstrual cycle. I stabbed you. Anyway. Oh, man. Moscow issues warning over nuclear winter. Leo. Oh, man. Moscow, gonna go into talking about nuclear winter, laughing. Like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. Moscow issues warning over nuclear winter. Global arms control is mired in an unprecedented crisis triggered primarily by the actions of the West, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov claimed on Tuesday. Speaking at the PIR Center, a Russian think tank specializing in nuclear non-proliferation, Ryabkov argued that the issue had been building for some time and had been exacerbated by U.S. and Western attempts to actively use coercion and violence in unsuccessful attempts to strengthen their global positions. Those actions could be exemplified by the bombing campaign against the former Yugoslavia, the U.S. invasion of Iraq, and NATO's destabilizing eastward expansion, the diplomat said. At the same time, Washington and NATO categorically refused Russia's proposals to create a comprehensive security framework in Europe, Ryabakov insisted. Instead, they embraced a course seeking to deliberately and maliciously fan the Ukraine conflict and inflict a strategic defeat on Moscow, all of which affected areas of contact with the West, including regarding arms control, he added. According to the diplomat, the problem could potentially be remedied by dialogue between the U.S. and Russia, which hold the largest nuclear arsenals on the planet. Ryabakov said that Moscow had noted Washington's proposal to discuss arms control separately from other issues in bilateral relations. However, by endorsing this compartmentalization, the U.S. wants to push the red lines even further in a bid to undermine Russia's national security, the diplomat claimed. Against this backdrop, arms control talks are unlikely to be productive unless the U.S. and the West dramatically change their aggressive anti-Russia policies, Ryabakov argued. So, we'll see. I'm still not convinced they aren't working together in all this stuff. I'm not completely convinced. Anywho, let me have a drink of coffee and a few vapes. Oh, man. So I tweeted this link out. And just so folks know, it's in Greek. And there's no way, like, I can't, oops, I don't want to do that. I can't right click, like it says right click disabled, right? You can't left click, you can't copy, you can't do nothing. Because I wished I could, so I could just damn copy the title. That's all I wished I could do. But anyway, you can't. So, this, all of this will be in Greek on Twitter. Nothing I can do about it. So, anywho, you just translate it to English. It's all good. Now this, and I'm not going to go real far deep into it, and I'm not going to, I'm going to point out a couple of things that's in the article, but that's it. Because I don't want to give this a bunch of attention because I don't know that it's a thing. There has been a ton of movement that had been reported involving troops. Now, I already know that there were a bunch of old videos that were put forward and discussed as in that it was new videos and stuff. But these reports, from my understanding, they keep coming in. And some of the stuff, from my understanding, is seeming a bit more and more odd as it goes on. Now, what got my attention with this article is this second part here. Missile systems on firing positions on the West Coast. So, and it says right here, there are even reports of missile defense systems being deployed at firing positions on the U.S. West Coast. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I have no idea. But I do know that there's a lot of tension, if you will. When I say that, I'm talking about, as far as the U.S. is concerned, the posture, that has been ramped up. That I am confident in. How many of these reports that are coming in are the real deal? How many are actually rehashed old reports? I couldn't tell you. I would tell you to keep your radars up. Keep it ready. Because I'll tell you what. One thing I don't rely on is our government giving us a damn bit of warning. I won't rely on that for a second. Because they won't. So we'll see. There's been a lot of talk about this in recent days. Yes, you absolutely can get a link. Let me put it in the chat. And like I say, remember you'll have to translate it to English unless you know Greek. There you be. So, we'll see. Oh, you're welcome, man. Again, I can't confirm a lot of this stuff. I can say, the quick message that was given to me is that there is a change in posture. Those were the words. Change in posture. So, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's nothing. I'm telling you, I don't think that, I don't think the next big conflict is one that we should look forward to. Not even close. All right. Run through some headlines and I'll go shoot me a quick video. Maybe, I don't know, cut out a mixtape. I don't know. Depends how cute I feel. Biden calls China's Xi a dictator. No, Biden. No. He doesn't want any dictators. No. Biden, no. Quit it. Go back to bed. U.S. extends North Korea sanctions. Pentagon revises Ukraine aid accounting error. You know. Oh, well, I actually had that one up. UK food costs remain stubbornly high. Chinese cars taking over Russian market. Right on, Angel. Thanks for coming, brother. Let's see. Oh, I said that one. 2 drones downed in Moscow region, says governor. Governor? Terror attack on Moscow region thwarted, says MOD. Like the banned method of destruction? Oh, no. Ministry of Defense. Although some method of destruction would probably sound good about now. UK warned of waning influence in NATO. Black Sea grain deal will end next month, says Moscow. It could also be Ministry of Death. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Step away from the bong, Mike. Let's see. France could offer Ukraine NATO for peace, says Le Monde. Or Le Monde, I don't know. I don't think I said this one. Black Sea grain deal will end next month, says Moscow. Ukrainian bomb plot foiled, says FSB. China hits back at Biden over dictator Xi comments. Let's see. White House lays out its preconditions for Ukraine peace talks. Tycoon sues Nissan for $1 billion over ousting and imprisonment in Japan. Pardon me. Poles sue German firms over Nazi-era damages. Where the hell is my reparations? Moscow issues warning over... Oh, I covered that one. Twitter must follow Indian laws, says Musk. Ukrainian tank crews feigning damage to avoid fighting Russians, says Spiegel. Crimea set for $20 million windfall from sale of Ukrainian oligarchs' property. Shamans hold ritual in support of Russian military. I mean, it may have been something like that. I don't know. UK debt soars to 60-year high, says Data. Russian defenses a challenge for Ukraine, says ex-Estonian spy chief. You think? Let's see. Ukrainians becoming second largest group of foreigners in Germany. I bet the Germans are happy. Let's see. British mission to rescue... Oh, yeah, I did a report on that this morning. Absolutely insane. Amazon duped millions of consumers into enrolling in Prime, says Federal Trade Commission, and they're filing a suit against Amazon. But we all know it's really a bunch of nothing. No grounds to extend grain deal, says Kremlin. EU backing off seizure of Russian assets, says Bloomberg. See, Amazon can do something like that and make billions of dollars and, get like a $50 million fine or something like that after they made billions from it, right? That's the way that always works. Putin reveals future of Russian armed forces. Yeah, I saw that, Hexafoos, that Musk said that cis or cisgender are considered slurs on the platform. I mean, it's... I don't get it. I don't get why the people just don't shut it down. We need to just shut it down. And I think it'll happen. I think it's only a matter of time. But it's already been too long, in my opinion. Let's see. New Nord Stream footage released. And I think this is supposed to be WWF, not WWW. Anyway, they're declared undesirable in Russia. And the reason I say that here... Oh, they actually fixed the headline now. It was WWW. So, that is correct. It's supposed to be WWF and no, not like the WWE WWF. Get your acronyms right. Economic cutback. Oh, I've talked about that. Brussels piles more sanctions on Moscow. I'm sure they're worried. Powerful blast destroys buildings in Paris. Russia needs more warships now, says Navy chief. Russia's geopolitical future is at stake, says Shoigu. I don't know how you'd say that. U.S. teacher subversively... Oh, covered that. Democrat blames conservative media for hyping Trump assassination remarks. So, yeah, I mean, darn you conservative media for pointing out something that Democrats did. Darn you. Ukrainians know they have no chance against Russia, says Putin. Republican donors wooed Supreme Court justice with lavish vacation. And they probably, woo, right? But, we didn't get to see that part. World majority still doing business with Russia, says a diplomat. Yeah, I can't read great. But that's the headline I was talking about, or the article I was talking about. I mean, I can't even play like I know Greek. Ding dongs, hoes, Twinkies, and a fruit pie. I like that. Yeah. I mean, it just, I don't know. What? Huh? Nah. Anyway, can't even. Okay. Alright, I better get out of here and end on that note before I get ended. So, anyway, I appreciate y'all coming. God willing, and YouTube willing, we'll be back tomorrow. And, as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.